When speaking of goals, Jim Rohn once said, "There's no telling what you can do when you get inspired by them. There's no telling what you can do when you believe in them. And there's no telling what will happen when you act upon them." And Zig Ziglar tells us a goal properly set is halfway reached, and they're right. Nothing propels us forward like having an attractive goal set out before us. That's true for both individuals as well as for organizations. Having that image in our mind of a future state or a milestone gives us the motivation we need to stay focused, productive, and effective. And on an organizational level, goals provide a sense of clarity that keeps everyone on the same page and gives your team members a clear sense of mission. But how do we implement goal setting most effectively? How do we approach this in a way that gives us the highest chance of actually achieving our goals, both in our organizations and in our personal lives? In this course, we're going to show you how to do exactly that.
93% of employees are unable to tie their actions to organizational goals. 37% of employees feel doubtful about their workplace's vision or strategy. 32% of employees want to track their progress they've made toward goals set by their managers. These statistics show that goal setting is an increasingly important area that businesses should focus on. Our course is going to consist of a series of critical discussion points. These are designed to cover this broad topic as thoroughly as possible to encourage growth in these vital areas and to facilitate a real and fruitful discussion within your organization about how you can each improve on this essential characteristic both at work and in your personal lives in general. Some of these will be pretty lengthy, and some will be relatively straightforward and brief. At the very end of this roadmap comes the most important final step. Discussion time. Do not skip this step. This is the most important part of this training. When you finish this course, you need to spend at least an hour or so going over the questions we supply at the end as a group. Whoever's the head honcho in the group should designate a facilitator whose responsibility it is that each question is covered and that everyone, time permitting, is able to have their say. Make sure all contributions are valued, all suggestions considered, and all opinions respected. So let's move into the first discussion point. Choose goals that motivate you. When it comes to goal setting, you have to make sure that each goal you make motivates you. This means that you highly value each goal and achieving them has a real purpose. However, if you have goals that you have very little interest in or feel to be too irrelevant from your perspective, you probably won't put in the work to achieve them. Remember, motivation is the key to achieving goals. To make sure that each goal is motivational, you must know the why. Why is it valuable? Why does it need to be achieved? You can also ask yourself, if I were to share this goal with my team, how can I prove to them that achieving this goal would be worthwhile? Using motivational value statements help you to avoid feelings of doubt or uncertainty that a goal can be achieved. Instead, it gives you the drive to carry on. set specific goals. Let's say you order a pizza on the phone. If you give out unclear instructions on where you live, the chances of you eating a hot pizza will be slim to none. Similarly, setting vague, undefined goals won't lead you to your desired outcome, or even worse, it would be a waste of your time, energy, and resources. Goals that are specific are clear and well-defined. It should determine what you want to achieve and how you want it to end up. This is especially true when it comes to your company's vision. A generalized outlook won't define what needs to be done. Specific goals provide tangibility, giving you clarity on what you want to accomplish. Set goals that are measurable. Goals should be measurable, or, in other words, should be easy to keep track of. Goals that are gaugeable help you assess your current progress and determine your degree of success. For example, if your goal is simply defined as to reduce business expenses, how will you know when you've achieved your goal? In fact, how would you even know if you're actually making progress? To set measurable goals, you must first identify the metric itself. Then set a specific number you're trying to meet or exceed. Breaking down your goals to bite-sized milestones help you monitor your progress and remind you to celebrate every small win. Dividing your goals in specific metrics also keeps you from getting overwhelmed. Instead, it motivates you to be persistent and maintain your momentum. Create goals that are attainable. Every time you set goals, you need to make sure that everything's within reach. This means that goals should not be so absurd that it would be impossible to achieve. Instead, our objectives should be feasible and practical to achieve. Creating a goal that you know you won't be able to achieve will only demoralize yourself and dampen your confidence. However, avoid setting goals that are too easy. Achieving something that you put little effort into is worthless and inefficient. Furthermore, once you've got used to achieving such effortless goals, you'll start to develop a fear of setting goals that carry a risk of non-achievement. Instead, create goals that are attainable, yet challenging. This helps you to up the ante each time you set a goal. Moreover, it gives you great satisfaction every time you achieve one. Make your goals relevant. Whether it's a personal or business goal, relevance should be the main concern. These are goals that matter to you, and it also aligns with other relevant goals. To make sure you have relevant goals, you need to look first in your overall vision, then divide your vision with successive goals. Then ask yourself, does my current goal fit my overall vision? Does it harmonize with my other goals? These questions will help you examine whether your goal is worth pursuing or not. Your goals should also serve as stepping stones to the company's success. This means that your smaller goals can create building blocks that help you achieve larger ones, thus creating consistency toward your desired outcome. On the other hand, diffused and inconsistent goals will only fritter your time and energy. Set time-sensitive goals. Napoleon Hill described it best when he said, "A goal is a dream with a deadline." All goals should have a due date imposed on it. This is to ensure that work gets done on time and gives you the motivation to stay focused and achieve it. Without a deadline, then your goal would be nothing worth more than a dream. Working on time-sensitive goals increases your sense of urgency and pushes you to your limits. It may require strenuous effort on your part, but the satisfaction of achieving such goals is priceless. Write it down. Dr. Gail Matthews from the Dominican University of California surveyed 267 people and found out that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. Why is that so? It affects you psychologically. Physically writing down your goals provides tangibility, gives you a clear picture of what you want to accomplish. The process of writing down goals on paper enhances your mental capabilities by forcing you to strategize, review your progress, and regularly brainstorm new ideas on how to achieve them. Seeing your goals written down on a regular basis serves as a daily reminder for you to keep moving forward. Create an action plan. Winging your way to a goal is a big no-no. You need to create a solid action plan to reach a goal. Sadly, this step has often been overlooked. Some people are so focused on the outcome that they forget to plan all the steps needed to achieve that goal. In fact, some even set goals without even knowing how to achieve them. Here are the components of an action plan. A well-defined description of the goal to be achieved. Outline of tasks that need to be carried out. People who will be in charge of carrying out each task. Milestones. Deadlines. Resources needed to complete each task. And measures to evaluate progress. Having an action plan provides a clear direction of how you want to achieve each goal. It helps you to stay committed throughout each project. Moreover, action plans encourage you to prioritize tasks based on effort and impact. Set organizational goals. Organizational goals are objectives strategically designed to improve the structure of a business and company as a whole. It outlines the anticipated results and guides employees' efforts. Setting specific organizational goals helps the company to track its progress and determine which areas they need to focus on. Organizational goals should always resonate with your employees. Having a clear understanding of the company's objectives enables them to determine their course of action on how to contribute to achieving them. As an employer, you should make sure that your employees are equipped with the appropriate tools and resources needed to meet these organizational goals. Setting organizational goals also boosts the workplace morale, for it unites employees to work closely in achieving a singular end goal. This workplace harmony will surely result in a higher level of efficiency and productivity. Help employees identify job-specific goals. As managers, you may have defined expectations for each employee, but it shouldn't always be the case. After all, at the end of the day, they know themselves better than you do. What you can do is ask your employees to identify goals that are specifically associated with their jobs. When managers see how their goals harmonize with the company's objectives, they should then quickly help them to develop action plans to achieve those goals. Roles vary in the workplace. However, goals akin to productivity and efficiency are often very effective. As you work with your employees, make it a point to reduce errors and boost productivity. This, in turn, will save more time, produce more sales, and improve your well-being. Avoid competition. Achieving goals can sometimes be misconstrued as a form of competition, especially for employees who have similar roles and responsibilities. If left untreated, this can cause internal rivalries and will eventually lower workplace morale. To prevent this, managers should set consistent goals that encourage employees to work as a team instead of being rivals. These goals should help them to complement one another so they can work in a harmonious fashion. Set goals aligned with the company's objectives. Every goal should tie in with the company's values and its overall growth strategy. You need to help your employees understand how their individual roles can make a great impact on organizational growth. When they grasp things from the company's point of view, it helps them to become more focused and motivated to achieve their goals. This, in turn, will contribute to the advancement of the business and increase employee performance. Reward employees who reached their goals. As things get busy, managers can sometimes forget to acknowledge the hard work of our loyal employees. In fact, they might be consumed so much in their work that they fail to remember those who have finally reached their goals. When such efforts go unnoticed, they will start to feel that no one values their work and might even lead them to look for a job somewhere else. Don't let another day pass by without giving recognition to your employees. Take time to assess the progress of each one and commend them for their efforts. Even a simple "thank you for your hard work" is enough to keep them on their toes. Every time an employee reaches a goal, be sure to give them the recognition that they deserve. This can be a form of a reward, bonus, certificate, or even just a public acknowledgement in your next staff meeting. Showing your appreciation honors the employee's efforts. Moreover, this is a good way to show the team that your company values such commitment and hard work. This, in turn, will motivate others to work hard so they can reach their goals too. Support employees who fall back short. Not everyone has the same pace. Some quickly excel in their field, while some still struggle to find their strengths. Managers should be quick to assist such ones. For instance, let's say that an employee fails to deliver upon the agreed deadline and goals weren't met. Instead of quickly expressing your disappointment, why not have a one-on-one conversation and discuss briefly what went wrong? Then always end on a good note by encouraging them to try harder and address the matters immediately. Establish BHAGs. In the book Built to Last: Successful Habits of Visionary Companies, Jim Collins and Jerry Porras first coined the term Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal, or BHAG. According to Collins and Porras, a BHAG is a long-term goal that's aligned with your company's core values and purpose. However, compared to other long-term goals, BHAGs are bold, audacious ambitions that may almost seem impossible to achieve, yet it can be done. There are 4 types of BHAGs. Role model. Designed to mimic other successful companies. Target-oriented. Has a defined quantitative or qualitative goal. Common enemy. Devised to compete with top companies in your industry. And internal transformation. Focuses on the company's transformation. BHAGs are meant to excite people by letting them think outside the box, push themselves out of their comfort zones, and strengthen the workplace synergy. BHAGs stimulate progress within your company and keeps the momentum going. It is a compelling target that an organization should strive for. Probably a great example of a BHAG is the famous declaration of President Kennedy in 1961. This nation should commit itself to achieve the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth. This, of course, became a reality when the first successful moon landing was made in 1969. BHAGs not only excite people in the industry, but they appeal to the public as well. Consider SpaceX as an example. Their goal of enabling human exploration and settlement of Mars caught international attention. Yet they didn't captivate people for having a ludicrous idea, but because they're proving to the world that life on Mars is, in fact, possible. What makes a good BHAG? Here are the key elements. It's 50 to 70% achievable. Must be clear and compelling. Pushes the company's capacity. Is measurable. Aligned with the organization's strategy. And ideally, 10 to 25 years long. How do you create a BHAG for your company? Here are 3 simple steps. Conceptualize. Think of an outside-the-box idea. Don't be afraid to aim high. Test. Gauge if it's really worth dedicating to for the next 10+ years. Commit. Work on it immediately. Break it down by creating milestones. A well-established BHAG unites the company with one clear purpose and vision. It also plays a big influence on current and future recruitment, for you are determined to select the right people that can turn this vision into a reality, and it also attracts the right people too. Furthermore, BHAGs help turn a company into a wonderful visionary for the future. Conduct a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is a notable strategic technique that helps an organization assess its business. The primary objective of SWOT is to help companies develop a full awareness of the internal and external factors that can affect a business decision. A SWOT analysis must be done before goal setting to ensure that the goals you set complement the needs of the company. Here's the breakdown of SWOT. Strengths. What are we good at? Weaknesses. What areas do we need to improve? Opportunities. What possibilities are in store for us? And threats. What can potentially harm the organization? A SWOT analysis is beneficial, for it's a source of information for strategic planning. It recognizes core strengths, reverses the weaknesses, maximizes opportunities, and avoids organizational threats. By reviewing past and current performances, it helps the company to chalk up its plans for the future. Keep track of your progress. How will you know if your new diet plan works if you don't check your weight? The same thing applies to goal setting. You can only know if you're making progress if you're keeping in track with your goals. In fact, keeping track of your progress is highly beneficial and mentally stimulating. As you finish a milestone, look at your progress. What changes have you noticed? As you measure your activity regularly, you will see improvements. Celebrate every small win and use this as motivation to work harder. Stay committed. Setting goals is not just a mere obligation for the sake of your business. Goal setting is an ongoing process. That's why a high level of commitment is needed. After all, goals aren't achieved overnight. You've got to put in the work and cultivate self-discipline. Always make sure that the relevance, value, and necessity of each goal remains constant as time goes by. Include financial goals. Of course, unlike any company, financial goals should be one of the main objectives of your organization. A wholesome financial goal can be raising $10,000 for a charitable cause by donating 5% of profits from every sale, or increasing sales by 20% to prevent layoffs. When you regularly communicate with your team about your financial goals and how the company allocates its finances, there's a good chance that they would treat the financial goal as their personal goal. When employees understand how reaching the goal would benefit them and the company, they will be more hardworking, knowing that they've contributed something for a good cause. Manage your time wisely. Time management is paramount if you want to achieve your goals. When you manage your time wisely, you will finish every milestone on schedule and reach every goal promptly. Besides prioritizing, you can manage your time by conditioning yourself mentally. Peter Bergman, a best-selling author, popularized a book entitled 18 Minutes, which talks about finding your focus so you can get the right things done. By using 18 minutes of your time each day, you can combat distractions and gain productivity. Here's how 18 minutes all sums up. Morning, 5 minutes. Start the day by thinking about what can be done to achieve your goal today. Then take those things off your to-do list and schedule them into your calendar. A minute per work hour, 8 minutes. As you go about your 8 to 5 job, you need to refocus yourself. Set an alarm every hour. Every time the alarm goes off, reflect on what have you done the past hour. Ask yourself, have I spent the last hour doing something productive? Evening, 5 minutes. After you've turned off your computer, take a moment to meditate. Take a deep breath and recap how your day went. Another way to make sure you're using your time wisely is by eliminating distractions in the workplace. Our phones can be a real menace for achieving goals. You won't even notice that you've spent 3 hours of your day just checking your phone. What you can do is to set your phone to a setting that you know you won't be bothered. Some people even turn off their phones when needed. Another good tip would be to hide these distractions from you. You can do this by putting it in a place beyond your reach. This can be the bottom part of your drawer or inside the deepest pockets of your bag. Also make sure that your work area is conducive to productivity. Close any tabs regarding social media, online shopping, or any other platforms that can tempt you to bide your time. Prioritize your goals. Goals have different needs, so you need to prioritize accordingly. Avoid skipping goals. Jumping from one goal to another will not only waste your time, but it will also prevent you from getting anything done. You can prioritize tasks effectively by using the ABCDE method. Popularized by Brian Tracy, the ABCDE method allows you to gauge the level of importance for each goal, so you can prioritize them according to its urgency. Here's how the ABCDE method works. A. Very important. These are the MIT's, most important tasks of your business or organization. These tasks should be your highest priority, for it would be the basis of success for the business. B. Important. These are tasks that are valuable as well, just to a lesser degree. Such tasks will lead to minor negative consequences when neglected. C. Nice to do. These items are the ones that have no consequences at all, whether you do them or not. D. Delegate. These are tasks that you can assign to someone, usually by outsourcing. E. Eliminate. These are illusionary to-dos that are in reality actually junk. You should get rid of these ASAP. Use a goal tracking software. We can't always keep track of everything we do. We're not robots. But this modern age of tech can help us to do so. Fortunately, we're now living in a world where everything involves automation. These technologies help a lot of businesses to save more time, cut down expenses, and increase efficiency. We should maximize the use of such modern tools. There are a number of goal tracking softwares that a lot of business owners and employees use to create goals and track their progress. Here are some widely used platforms: Trackstar, Week Done, 15.5, Engagedly, Asana, Lattice, and Jira. Using a goal tracking software not only helps managers to track their goals, but it also assesses employee performance. Also, as employees see their progress, it motivates them to work even harder. Using software also reduces your stress, helping you to take one goal at a time. Set KPIs. A key performance indicator, or KPI, is a metric value that indicates how effectively a company is in achieving its business objectives. KPIs help to evaluate the success of reaching their goals. Here's how to create a KPI. Write a clear objective. Your KPI should be integral to the business. It needs to express something strategic about what your business is trying to do. Share it with your employees. Communication is paramount. Your employees need to understand the goals from your perspective and how their help can contribute to the success of the company. Review them periodically. Check in on your KPIs from time to time. This is essential to track your progress and assess the company's development. You can do this on a weekly or monthly basis. Make sure it's actionable. Divide KPIs to create short-term and long-term goals. Modify to fit changing needs. Organizations adapt to new practices. Modify KPIs to complement new changes. Update objectives when needed. Businesses evolve, and KPIs should too. Regularly check to see if KPIs are needed to be changed or scrapped immediately. When companies utilize KPIs, it unites employees to work towards common goals. Information gleaned from KPIs can also help in developing future strategies for the business. Create short-term goals. Short-term goals are subset goals that a company can achieve over several weeks or a few months. These goals serve as stepping stones to achieve long-term goals. Furthermore, achieving short-term goals creates a momentum of growth. If you have a small business, here are some practical examples of short-term goals that can help. Prioritize sales and marketing. Listen to customer feedback. Automate administrative tasks. Establish customer relationships, and brainstorming ideas on how to compete with other industries. Short-term goals create measurable success, for you can see its results as they happen. Having short time frames, it provides a sense of urgency for the team that boosts the level of motivation. As you achieve a short-term goal, it increases your success rate of achieving your long-term goals. Lay groundwork for long-term goals. Long-term goals are targets intended for the future. This requires an extensive amount of time and careful planning. These usually range between 3 to 5 years and can even get up to 10 years to achieve. As entrepreneurs, your long-term goals should reflect not only for the growth of the business, but your personal interests as well. Here are some practical examples of long-term goals that you can set. Increase sales. Expand to new opportunities. Increase brand recognition. Create a lasting legacy or reputation, and host promotional events. Long-term goals give you a clear direction of where your business is heading. It gives the team a sense of purpose, of having something great to look forward to. Moreover, it helps us to see the bigger picture of what's in store for the business. Achieving long-term goals creates a long-lasting impact that contributes to greater success. And now, it's discussion time, the most important part of this training. Whoever's the head honcho in the group should designate a facilitator whose responsibility it is that each of the questions you see on your screen is covered and that everyone, time permitting, is able to have their say. Make sure all contributions are valued, all suggestions considered, and all opinions respected.